Hello, I'm Andrew Krivak, author of The Bear, and I'm honored that my book is part of the NEA Big Read. When I set out to write this novel about the last two people left on Earth, I was not considering the possibility of human extinction. I wanted to turn a bedtime story I used to tell my children about a talking bear into a coming-of-age novel that addressed the depths of human loss. In the early days of writing, though, I was fishing near my house in the Monadnock region of New Hampshire, and I was struck by the beauty of the lake, the forest, and the mountain on a day when I felt completely alone. I thought, I wonder what this place is going to be like for the last. And that's when it struck me, just what the bear wanted to become. I rowed to shore, sat down at my writing desk, and wrote that first sentence. The last two were a girl and her father, who lived along the old eastern range. The novel still struggled with how a father would raise his daughter, living close to the land and in the wake of great loss. But there was something about contemplating the essential and existential finality of the human story that kept raising question after question for me in The Bear. Why are they alone? How do they live day by day? And how is that knowledge passed along? And what is their purpose if they know they're the last? What do I hope readers will take away from The Bear? The Bear is a spare and quiet novel that takes place in a distant future, yet one that is in no way dystopic, no way ruined or scorched. I hope readers will feel and embrace the simple beauty of the characters' lives and the wildness of the landscape in which they live. I modeled it after the Monadnock region, but I am sure that the immediate and elemental quality I try to evoke will resonate with communities around the country who feel a deep connection to their own wild places of mountains, deserts, lakes, oceans, parks, and gardens. I also used a pared-down prose style as a way of indicating that weighty themes can emerge with a sharp clarity through simplicity. And I hope, finally, that readers will come away from The Bear with more questions than answers. Since the publication of The Bear, I've been lucky to speak with a wide range of readers who have in fact come away with an even wider range of questions. A high school senior in California wondered how it was the girl didn't despair to the point of giving up when she knew she was the last. Students at Rutgers University in the seminar Riding at the End of the Apocalypse wondered about the difference between solitude and loneliness and the cultivation of a spiritual connection to the material world. Philosophers and theologians I've met have wondered about our need for myth in the world, but not the kind of myth that deceives. Rather, myth as a teacher and a mentor, as it is always meant to be. And many readers and book groups with whom I've spoken have both wondered about and struggled with the note of hope at the end of The Bear. So what's the one thing I've always wanted to be asked? The Bear's been called a fable at times, but I prefer to think of it as a cautionary tale. For all the discussions I've been privileged to be involved in, the one question I've never been asked is the question that's really facing all of us right now. Who will tell our story years into the future? And what kind of story will it be? Will it be one in which nature remains a place of cool waters, long seasons, and a diversity of natural wildlife? One in which humans can still write and speak of hope, journey, and a coming of age? Or will it be something else? Something not one of us could or would even want to imagine. Thank you for reading The Bear, and I hope that we get a chance to discuss it together soon.